Breaking news. The Minnesota Vikings may have a surprise position target in the upcoming NFL draft, wide receiver. This news just dropped, and you won't want to miss a second of it. But before we dive into the details, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you stay updated on every Vikings move. At first glance, wide receiver might not seem like a priority for the Vikings in 2025. With Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Jalen Nailor all returning after a combined 800-plus receiving yards and 26 total touchdowns last season, the depth chart looks solid. Additionally, Tim Jones and Rondale Moore were brought in to replace Trent Sherfield and Brandon Powell. However, looking ahead to 2026, things get more uncertain. Only Jefferson and Addison are under contract beyond this season, and it's not guaranteed that Addison will land a lucrative extension due to past off-field concerns. The reality is you can never have too much depth or young talent at wide receiver. And this year's draft is loaded with intriguing prospects, from the early rounds all the way to day 3. While the Vikings might not target a receiver with their first pick, or even on day 2, it remains a position to watch in the later rounds, depending on how their draft board shapes up. "I'd keep an eye on wide receiver depth," said Ben Goesling of the Star Tribune on a recent episode of the Vikings Happy Hour podcast. They signed Rondale Moore, but that's likely a short-term move. They've been exploring the receiver market in the pre-draft process, and they need to start thinking about what this position looks like behind Justin Jefferson in the coming years. Goesling pointed out that Jordan Addison is entering his 3rd year, meaning the team will need to make a contract decision on him soon. With wide receivers being abundant in recent drafts, the Vikings could look for someone to pair with Jefferson and Addison, or even a potential successor to Addison. So far, the Vikings have met with multiple wide receiver prospects. Maryland's Ty Felton, a 6 feet 2 inches target who caught 96 passes for 1,124 yards and 9 touchdowns last season, could be a day 2 pick. Utah's Dorian Singer, who had 702 yards in 2023 and 1,105 yards as a sophomore at Arizona in 2022, is another intriguing name. Baylor's Monterey Baldwin, a speedy 5 feet 9 inches receiver, has put up at least 478 yards and 4 touchdowns in each of the last 3 seasons. Of course, there are plenty of other names under the radar. Between key scouting events like the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, NFL Combine, Pro Days, and Top 30 visits, the Vikings have evaluated hundreds of draft prospects. Wide receiver may not be their top priority, but it's certainly a position to keep an eye on. What do you think? Should the Vikings draft a wide receiver, or should they focus on other needs? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big update on the Vikings draft plans.